Hey everybody, welcome to Trending Thursday here on our YouTube channel for VectorVest. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. I'm pumped today, baby. I'm really good and pumped today and glad to have you here. Glad that you're here supporting VV Nation as far as Trending Thursday here on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. If you can hear me, everything's coming across loud and clear. Reply in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that I am coming across loud and clear. And to my right, sitting side saddle is Joey. He is my producer. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
There you go. So he's here. He helps to make sure everything is good to go. I'm looking to see if I see any new names in here. I know I got a lot of people from the Jockey Club in here. Thank you for supporting that. If you're new in the room, if this is your first time here, type a me in the room. If this is your first time here, type a me in the room. I want to shout out to all the brand spanking new people who are showing up today. And if you are, thank you for supporting the channel. I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. John, this is not your first time here. I'm just looking at some of these names come up. John, this is not your first time here, but I'm seeing some good new names. Thank you guys so much. And guess what? If you subscribe to the channel, a little emote is going to come up to say thank you for signing up for the channel. So there you go. See that? Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Along the way, if you like what you see, hit the like button. All right. If my good friend Mike Norton is here, every time he's here, he normally puts up a super chat. I thank him very much for that. That is available for you if you feel compelled to do so. You can put up a super chat to say you like what you see. You like what you see. All right. So, but the likes, getting the likes up here is going to really get the algorithm going to get this out to everybody out there who's not watching. So yeah, I would really like for you to hit the like button. I'm also streaming on Facebook. I see some people here. Wow, a lot of people are here. Tom is here. Chris, Nebu, Conrad, Chan. Joey is watching as well. Gus, wait a minute. Is that my Gus, my softball Gus? Just type a yes or a no, Gus. Is that my softball Gus? I think that it looks like it's my softball Gus. I've got local people from the Mooresville area. That would be really cool. That would be really cool if that's the case. I think that it is my softball Gus watching today. So I'm seeing a lot more chatter on Facebook today, and that is a wonderful thing. All right, so Joey's trying to help me out here. No, that's all right. I got it here. All right, so that would be really cool. That would be. All right, there you go. Thank you, Joey. All right, so today we're going to get hot and heavy into what's going on in the market. I think that's important. Whether you're new to the market or an experienced investor, you've got to know what's going on in the market. You got to know if you're on the right side of the market. So we always start off there. And the VectorVest system has a unique way of making sure that you guys are on the right side of the market at all times. So let's do that. Let's get into the software. Let's do it this way. Let's get right into the software. Here's the home page of the VectorVest software. All right. Now, not everybody out there has access, and this is a paywall. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But if you would like to have access to the things that I show here, 99 cents gets you in. 99 cents gets you in for 30 days. You have full access to everything that you see here that I'm doing to be able to do as well. All right? That's all I'm going to do from a selling perspective. 99 cents is a hell of a price for 30 days to get the information that I'm showing here. Oh, is that working here for me now too?
Links in the chat.
The link's in the chat. For this? No.
For the 99-cent trial.
Oh, the link is in the chat for the 99-cent trial. So I can see my chat from YouTube and for Facebook here on my screen. Thank you for that. Alan is here. Thank you guys on Facebook for supporting as well. So when we look at the homepage of the VectorVest software, a lot of good things are here. I can see on a day like today, we track over 9,000 stocks. As a matter of fact, we track 9,007 stocks. Of those stocks, 74% of the stocks in our database are going up compared to 17% going down. This tells me that today is a really good day, a really good bullish day in the market. Today is a good day to buy stocks. But wait. One day doesn't make a trend. So I look at the color guard to the left. This is our traffic light into the market. What's the main color you see? Yellow. What does that mean? Slow down. Unless you live in like New York, and if that's the case, then you're going to speed up like a plane, right? You're going to take off like a plane and just go through the yellow light in anticipation of the red light. Don't do that when it comes time to the market. When you see a lot of yellow, slow down. Be careful about what you do or what you don't do. All right? So, nice up day in the market today. All of the major indices are up in excess of 1%. Again, if you look in your portfolios, the market's doing well today. And your portfolios are probably doing well today. I know my portfolios are as well. All right, so keeping all of that in mind, let's start to get into another person is subscribing to the channel. Outstanding. And I love that emote that Joey put up. You're kind of cool. High five. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Hold on. There's Joey's hand. Why do you hit my hand so hard?
That was soft.
Oh my gosh.
Gentle.
Why do you hit my hand so hard?
That was gentle.
Wow. All right. So from this perspective, let's talk about what's making the market go up today. All right. Let's go into my stories. And let's start off from a market's perspective. Starting about what the Fed is doing, because the Fed is important. The Fed does a few different things to make sure that the market is doing all right. They're looking at interest rates. Interest rates are still at historic lows. They are going to rise, folks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because of the second part of what the Fed does. They try to keep inflation in check. Inflation ain't in check, and they keep telling me that it's transitory. Inflation is inflation, and we feel it in our pockets when we go to the stores. So inflation is an issue, and then jobs. And we'll talk about all three of these things. But also on the top of the docket right now is the debt limit, the amount of money that the country has to spend. Whatever side of the fence you sit on is whatever side of the fence that you sit on. I ain't talking about politically. I'm talking about how this affects us when investing in the market. So Janet Yellen says the U.S. debt limit crisis must be resolved immediately. And this is what makes our market as volatile as it is right now. One day it's up, one day it's down, one day it's up, one day it's down. And a lot of that comes across with the debt ceiling. Are they close in Congress with a deal? One day they say, well, we're far, but we're getting close. And then we say, no, there's a deal. I think that right now they're getting close to a deal that holds us out until December, which then the volatility is going to go up again. I think that if we can get the debt ceiling raised, right, again, no matter where you sit on, what side of the fence you sit on with that, the market will be in a little bit of a nice little up phase. All right, until we get to December, it'll start all over again. We're looking at the infrastructure bill. That's on the table as well, and that's affecting the market as well. So you keep your eyes on those things. Those are news stories, and it causes people to invest emotionally. When it's not good, people get out of the market. When it is good, people get into the market. So that's why that caution is advised right now when investing in the market, because we are looking at some levels of higher volatility because of that news. Next one, as we look, broader inflation. Broader inflation pressures begin to show. Price indexes that include or exclude extreme changes point to inflation running ahead of the Fed's 2% target. That's a high number, but the Fed is saying they're willing to let inflation run hot to keep the economy going. All right, so keeping that in mind, inflation is still going to be inflation, which means prices rise. And the Fed is saying we're willing to let prices rise because as we get to the next part, which is going to be about jobs, we're not at full maximum job capacity. So now let's talk about jobs for a second. So we talked about the debt ceiling. We talked about inflation. Now let's talk about jobs. Now the numbers came out this morning. U.S. labor market picture improves. A lot less people applying for unemployment. Does that mean that people are getting back to work? So now I want to have a little conversation with you in regards to the job picture. I've been kind of closed-minded. I'll admit it. I've been kind of closed-minded when it comes down to looking at the jobs picture. All right. And from that perspective, I'm like, why is nobody going after jobs? Blah, 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 blah. All right. Let me tone that back a little bit. And I'm going to ask you a question. I've got 3 reasons why people are not going back to work. I'm going to give you an A, a B, and a C, and I want you to type in the room what you think the issue is when it comes down to jobs. First, A, People saved money when they got all of their stimulus. People save money when they got all of their stimulus, and right now they're okay when it comes down to looking for another job. B, and this is where I think it's going to get hot and heavy. B, women are still staying at home, working from home, because it reduces on the amount of child care that they have to pay, and that it works out better for them that way. Or they're just staying home because they can't afford the child care even going back to work. So that's my B, or number 2. And number 3, or C, a lot of retirees, after they retire, they take smaller jobs in the job space, whether it's at Walmart, whether it's here, whether it's there, They're not coming back right now. Why? Because they're afraid of possibly being exposed to COVID. All right, so that was A, that was B, and the C is retirees. I want everybody, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, I want to hear what you think the issue is with jobs right now, because people are looking for people to work, but they're not coming back to work. And I had a different mindset prior to me sitting back and thinking about it. I want to see what you guys think about it. I'm seeing a lot of B's and C's come up. I like that Jeff says all, A, B, and C. That's not bad as well. Today is a day that I want to have a little bit of conversation with you, because the job issue is a big issue. And I think it's a lot bigger than people think. My wife and I went out to Applebee's last night. You know why?
Because you're fancy.
Not because I'm fancy.
You're fancy.
No, it's not why. We went out to Applebee's because they were doing, you get a steak and you get the 12 double crunch shrimp.
Okay.
So we did that last night. But in the whole restaurant, folks, there was only 2 servers. There were only 2 servers. People are not going back to work. So on Facebook, Ken says the minimum wage and they're still paying for childcare to women with children. The jobs are out there, but people want more. Is that a bad thing if people want more? Is that a bad thing that people want more? People are looking for a livable minimum wage. All right, and that's cool. Older people retired early, under people made money in crypto and still playing the market as it evolves. Younger, sorry. Many jobs are service jobs, and people aren't coming back to those restaurants, can't find people to work. Mark came through. There you go. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark, for that $25 super chat. I appreciate it. Minimum wage sucks. So, again,
look what Mark said.
What did Mark says? D, because they make enough using VectorVest and don't need to go back to work. I like that, Mark. I like that, Mark. I like that a lot. So D can come into place. Jay says he wants more. Jay, are you both on YouTube and Facebook? How does he do that? Yeah. Sigh. I feel a lot of people are trying to start their own business and work from home. I like that answer as well. All right, so being paid to work by the government. So, Mike, I think that's coming off the table. A lot less states out there are adding on the extra money for being on unemployment. So I'm not going to take that as an argument that people are still making money from the government right now on top of the unemployment. I think a lot of that is coming back. Lito says, going back to work, it's like taking a pay cut after receiving all the stimulus money, which was giving them more money they made when they were working before. And remember, that was one of the questions. Is that that was A, that people saved up a lot of money during the stimulus, giving out all the stimulus, that maybe they're sitting okay for the time being. All right, so there you go. Drew says, Mark Norton, make it rain. Dave says, $20 an hour at McDonald's equals $42,000 a year, considered a living wage. All right, so listen, I wanted to hear from you guys today, and thank you guys for doing that. I like that. I like that you guys put that out. And I think it's important because that people need to know. And again, I'm the first one to say that my mind was a little closed when we were talking about the jobs number. I was like, what is the deal with people going back to work? I had to do the research to find out why people were not going back to work, and I wanted to put that out there. I'm not too proud to say if I screwed up, and I think my thinking was kind of screwed up. I wanted to get your input. Thank you guys so much. Between Facebook and YouTube, guys, you guys came out today. Thank you for having that little bit of conversation with me. Right now, the only people I know who actually received stimulus were laid off due to COVID, and the rest of us got anything. Let me tell you something. I didn't get nothing. I didn't, and it is what it is. I ain't complaining. I'm not complaining, but I didn't get anything. All right, and Steve says, I don't think they saved anything. All right, it was just one of the points that I put out there. Maybe that was one reason, but I say that Steve says that he doesn't think that they saved anything. All right, so now we know what's going on in the market. I think we had a great conversation in regards to the jobs point of it. Let's go see how it's affecting the market with two indicators. So let's go back to the VectorVest software. Oh, there we go. Let's go back to the VectorVest software. And let's go to my watch list for today. I'm going to go to the viewers tab. Here's my trending Thursday for today. Here's the stocks we're going to look at today. Now, for those people who are VectorVest subscribers, I'm going to look at an indicator that we call the VVC, or the VectorVest Composite. Remember, it's an indicator that tracks over 9,000 stocks. For those of you who are not subscribers, we're going to look at the spiders, the S&P 500, and let's look at, so we taken into effect the debt ceiling, we've taken into effect inflation, and we've taken into effect jobs. Let's go look at these two indicators, which we use to time the market, and let's go put this on a 3-month graph, which I am. Here's the VVC. So with all of the debt ceiling information, getting close, not getting close, blah, 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 blah. The market took a hit. The market took a hit off of the high at 69.33 on the VVC, fell, bounced. A little bit of a hammer formation right there at the bottom of the formation. Nicely open today and above the 20-day exponential moving average. Could that be the start of something positive? If the news stays positive, the answer to that question is yes. I've got a level of resistance to break through on the VectorVest Composite at 67.39 right here. Let's see if it can break up. And then I've got some upside to the point, the price of 69.33. But I like the bounce off support. I like the earnings per share going on with the stocks in the VVC. I like the earnings growth rate rising up. The market overall is picking up a little bit of steam. Let's go look at the S&P 500. Same kind of scenario. Bouncing off a level of support sitting at 426, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average, and rising up. Again, a little positive spin. Watch the wick at the top of this SPY today. A little bit of selling pressure kicking in. And let's go see. Ken says they only pay $7.25. At least $9 to $10 an hour is fair. They haven't raised minimum wage for 10 years. All right. So again, I'm looking at the comments both on YouTube and on Facebook. I love that everybody is chiming in today, folks. Keep it in. I love that everybody's chiming in today. All right. Lito says, I'm a truck driver, Glenn, and I have been working before COVID and through COVID, and I'm still driving a truck out here using VectorVest the best I can. Way to go, man. All right, so, I love it when VectorVest subscribers talk about the software to the people who are brand new in this room. I'm a company man. I'm going to tell you all the good things I can about the company. But when I can see people in the room who are subscribers, whether you're on YouTube or whether you're on Facebook, I love that we can see what other people who are subscribers are doing to let you guys know. I think it's a better tell. All right, so we saw the news that's going on with the market. We see the responses within the S&P 500 and the VVC. Does anybody have any other questions before we move on to our next story? Ken says, I'm interested in VectorVest. Ken, as I mentioned earlier, everything that I'm showing here right now, for 99 cents, you can take a trial of the VectorVest software for 30 days. The link is in the chat. Actually, it's pinned at the top of the www.vectorvest.com/YT, and the link is pinned at the top of the page in YouTube. But for you guys on Facebook, it's www.vectorvest.com/YT for YouTube. All right, let's get to my next story. Let's go back to the stories. And so, go put this on the web. Let's move over. Next thing, oil. How many of you have realized that oil has been moving up? How many of you are on the oil wave right now? Type a yes in the room. Type a yes in the room. How many of you right now are on the oil wave and making money? I want to know. Because as you type a yes in the room, I'm going to tell you why oil is rising. The first thing I'm going to tell you about why oil is rising is because the demand is high and the supply is low. We don't have the oversupply that we had in the prior administration with all of the drilling. Now, I see some no's coming across. For those people who are saying no, let me tell you why it should be a yes. Looking at the first story here, oil is at a 7-year high after OPEC decides on cautious increase. So to help with the demand, we need supply. And OPEC will open up the spigots to give more supply out to the world so that we can have more oil to help to drive the prices down. But if oil prices are high and OPEC is going to get paid a lot more money, they're being cautious and they're being stingy with increasing the outflow of supply. And if they do that right now, they've got the finger on it. And that I'm going to show that. Okay. They've got the finger on the pulse of what's going on with oil, and they have the ability to control prices. All right, if they open up the spigots, that would be great. If they don't, then the demand is going to still remain the same, but prices are going to go higher. But at a 7-year high, that's a big number, and oil could be a good play. It may not feel good when you got to go put gas in your truck like I do. I got a 2001 Ford Excursion 40-gallon tank. Whew, that's a lot of gas right there. That's a lot of gas. And then I got my Volkswagen. I put the high test in there, and that's like 3 and some change, but that's only a 16-gallon tank. But I got a 40-gallon tank. And there you go, Chris. We're going to talk about that stock. So what else? In regards to oil, oil analysts predict a prolonged rally as OPEC resists calls to ramp up supply. So that's 2 stories talking about supply. All right, 2 stories talking about supply. What's my people on Facebook talking about? A lot of people here. Let's see. Ken owns Chevron and Exxon. Toyneen, yeah, I know. I wasn't going to put that out there. Ken is in it as well. They're going to dole it out slowly so they can profit. Absolutely. OPEC is not stupid. OPEC's not stupid. They're holding out because they want to get as much money as they can. But at some point in time, they will open up the spigots to everybody. But gas prices will rally, and oil will rally as the story shows. Now, I'm going to take another side of that from an energy perspective. What about how many of you taking advantage of gas, of natural gas? Type of me in the room. So we looked at oil. Now, from a gas perspective, how many of you are on the wave for gas as well? Natural gas. I want to hear that. All right, let's talk about that. Now, let me tell you why gas is going up. Let me see if anybody's are they doing gas? Anybody doing gas? Think oil companies will move higher after being up 30-40% over the past month? I still think that they have upside, Mike, because of OPEC. I think that they have upside, especially because of OPEC. There you go. Mike, Ken is on Facebook, is in UNG. There we go. We're going to talk about that. Ken is also, Ken, you talking a lot in Facebook, aren't you? All right, you talking a lot in Facebook. Yes on natural gas from Frank, Ninja, Glenn. It's time that you ordered a Cybertruck. Oh, heck, do you know how ugly that truck is? I'd rather go after the Ford. I'm a Ford kind of guy anyway. I'd rather go after the Ford EVs or go after somebody else's EV. I'm not getting a Cybertruck. All right, I'm not. And they closed fracking, John, and that's going to increase gas as well. But let me tell you my story on oil. The biggest country out there with the most people, China steps up natural gas supply for 2021 winter-spring season. Pipeline imports at record high, so they're importing. Russia imports to rise, so they're bringing in more natural gas, which is going to raise the price of gas. And gas, when you look at it as a commodity, it's up big or it's down big. Unlike oil doesn't have the full fluctuations that gas has, but gas, man, it can be up 6% in a day. It could be down 6% in a day. I'd be very careful with gas but gas has the ability to make you a lot of money real quick. Ninja says wells produce hydrocarbons, both oil and gas, oil well and gas well, oil. What did you just type in there, Ninja? Frank says more upside on gas versus oil long-term due to electrification. I agree with that, Frank. China wants to make their country look clean for the Winter Olympics. You know something, Ninja? I didn't even take that into consideration. That's very interesting. I didn't take that into consideration, but I did take into consideration that gas and oil are going to rise up real quick right now because we are in the cooler season. So I think that that's going to happen as well. All right, man, we got some good conversation on here. Ken also says Ken had to stop production on their Lightning 150 due to the semiconductor shortage. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well, Ken. All right, so those are my stories when it comes down to oil and gas. Let's go back to the software. And let's go look at that. GUSH, there we go. From oil, I think that today, I'm not going to talk about individual stocks in the space of oil and gas. I'd rather have you in a safer investment of looking at the whole industry with ETFs. So I'm going to look at GUSH. I'm going to look at Brent oil, BNO. I'm going to look at natural gas, UNG, and I'm going to look at Invesco oil, DBO. I believe those are the four that I'm looking at. So this week, instead of looking at individual stocks, I'd rather have you in ETFs to play the whole space. Everybody good with that? Type a yes or a no in the room. I think that that's a better way to go. I think that that's a better way to go than to have to hone in on a specific stock. Let me know what you think about that. All right, I think that these are better plays to play the whole space. All right, to play the whole space. Someone says I should be looking at REI. Listen, Mark, again, for me, I just wanted to look at ETFs. REI could have been a play. I really wanted to look at ETFs. I want you guys to make money, but make money on a bigger scale than trying to hone in on a stock that goes up and down and up and down. Let's play the whole space. All right, let's go take a look at these on a graph. Let's see which one I like the best. All right, looking at a 3-month graph, look at GUSH. So with oil rising, with inflation rising with oil, all put those two together, they are synonymous. Look at the nice update on oil today. It's a 2-time leverage ETF, bullish ETF, nicely, look at that, nicely playing that 20-day exponential moving average. Volume is steady. Volume is conviction on the stock. Volume is steady and playing above average on, I like it. I like it. Ooh, when I like it. You send tears up my spine every time I take one look at you. I liked it. That was the barge. In case you didn't know, that was the barge. Anyway, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average, attacking the high over the last 3 months of 107.84. Let's see if we can take that out. I think that the rally is going to push on oil as long as OPEC is cautious about releasing more. That's a good-looking play. Next one. Oil, BNO, same kind of scenario, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average and moving higher off of a 2-day high, 2 days off the 3-month high of 21.91. Look at the volume. Nicely up on above average volume. Let's go over to UNG. Now, you see the gappiness in UNG? Again, this is the technical term is gapiosity. The technical term is a Glenism called gapiosity. You see the gapiosity going on? Look at that. Gap up, gap down, gap down. There's a lot of gapping. Be careful with this. Ampy, how about Ampy? You think it will recover Snoopy's snow cones? I think it will. I think the industry for the whole is strong enough. If the industry is rising, the stocks within the industry will be pulled up. I think it's unfortunate with the oil spill in California that they did get hit. But I think the industry right now, it's one of the 3 biggest moving industries that we've got in the market right now. My 3 biggest industries are oil, banks, and tech. Those are the 3 biggest industries that are moving in the market right now. And my stories today will focus on all 3 of those, starting with oil and gas. I like the bullish push of the candle, the bottom of the candle pushing higher. Gas is going to move higher. Be careful, though. This is going to be a lot more volatile play. So for any of you who are looking at playing UNG, be careful with it. All right. GUSH last 2 reverse splits gives a lot to think. And you know something? I think, let's go back to GUSH real quick. Let's go put this on a 1-year graph, and let's go put on splits. Splits. Let's go back 5 years. So over the last 5 years, I got 3 splits. Over the last 5 years, I got 3 splits. And GUSH was trading as high as a lot of money. And with all of the splits back down, it made it more reasonable to buy. But it was trading back in 2016 at $26,000. That's a lot of money. And with the reverse splits, brought the price back down. Do I think it's going to get that high again? Probably not. All right, probably not. But you know something? I'm going to take it. You know me, I'm going to take what the market gives me. All right, and what was the last one? DBO. That was the last one. Nicely, all my oil ones look the same. Pulled back off of 2 days off the high. Nicely moving up today, above the 20-day. Volume is good, and there it is. So for those people who are not playing oil, did I change your mind a little bit? Type a yes or a no. For those people who were not playing oil, did I at least give you some insight to change your mind? Type a yes or a no. Snoopy says, nice. Thank you so much. I got Zynga and EMN as well for my conviction plays. You know, Snoopy, if you stay to the end, let's go take a look at those stocks. Let's go take a look at those stocks. Look at that. So some of the people who were not playing the oil space right now, at least with the information that we gave you today, at least it's something to think about. And that's what Trending Thursday is all about, folks. This is what we do. This is what we do. We are here to help you guys make decisions. And so far, if you like what you see, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'm giving you another opportunity. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. All right, this is what we do. I get pumped up on Thursdays, don't I, Joey? I get pumped up on Thursdays. Why? Because I love being here and I love helping you guys make money. All right, I love helping you guys make money. All right, let's go back to the web. Let's go back to my stories. Let's get to the next story. What do I got? Oh, what did I say was on my list of industries that is rising? Oil. What's my other one? Banks. Let's talk about why banks are going up. All right, not enough memory. Really? What is that? What? All right, got it fixed. 7 financial stocks to buy to get ready for the Fed's next move. What's the Fed's next move? Tapering, all right, of the bonds, which is going to drive people out of the market because bond yields are going to have to go up for people to buy them. All right, so that's going to be big to push the market down. Am I telling you that this is going to happen right away? No, this is going to be slowly happening, but you have a system like VectorVest that's going to keep you on top of what's going on as it's going on. So keeping that in mind, tapering is going to happen, where the Fed is going to stop buying back bonds. And once they start doing that, bond yields will rise. People are going to go and start buying bonds. Number 2, what's going to happen? Interest rates are going to have to go up. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I'm going to give, and I don't like giving predictions, but I'm going to give you my insight. I don't think any of this happens until next summer. I don't think that any of this happens until next summer. The tapering is already going to start by the end of this year, going into next year. And I think that as inflation continues to rise, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. They're going to have to slow it down. They're going to have to raise interest rates and put the tapering and the interest rates increase. The market's going to go down. Now, do I think it's going to go down in a recession? Most likely. I think that we've been on a bull run in the market since 2016. I don't know how many of you already know that. We've been in a strong bull run in the market since 2016. It's time for the market to pull back. So I think that by next summer, we'll probably be in a nice little recession, and people are going to ask, well, do you think you're going to go into a depression? I'm not thinking about that. I'm not thinking that's going to happen. I think that interest rates are going to rise. They're going to rise, and all of that is going to happen. When that happens, people are going to take money out of the stock market as well and put it where? In the banks, where they're going to get an interest rate. If the interest rates rise, you're going to get a higher interest rate on your stocks, on your money in the bank than putting it in the stock market. Why are there so many stocks in the stock market right now? Because interest rates are so low. Where am I going to put my money? Money goes where money grows. Money is growing in the market, not in the bank. That's why there's so much money in the stock market. Money goes where money grows, and there you go. Rates go up, net interest rates, margin goes up for regional banks with good commercial loan position. by WSFS. Jeff, if you're still here at the end, I'll take a look at it. John says, what's going on? What's going on? Glenn's going to tell you what's going on. So there we go. All right. Who's talking on Facebook? Stephanie says GUSH or NRUP or individual stocks. For me, Stephanie, in this space right now, without trying to hone in on specific stocks. Now, for those of you who have done your analysis and found individual stocks to buy in that space, buy them. By all means, buy them. But as a group to grow your portfolio, Stephanie, I'm looking at GUSH. All right, that's my opinion. That's my insight to you. You guys are going to do what you're going to do. And again, there's probably really good stocks out there that have explosive potential. Could I help you find them? I can probably, should I do a video on that? Oh, Patrick just did a video on oil. Yeah, he just did. So I'm not gonna step on his toes on that. But are there stocks in the space that could be explosive? Absolutely. But Stephanie, I'm probably going to push more to the GUSH play. Does that make sense? All right, so 7 financial stocks to buy to get ready for the Fed's next move, which is going to be what? The tapering of bonds, number one, and the raising of rates. There's 7 stocks here. I'm going to look at a couple of them, a couple of the big ones. I'm going to look at Bank of America. I'm going to look at JP Morgan. You know something? It's hard to go against Jamie Dimon. He's a smart dude. And I'm going to look at another play again, Stephanie, that looks at an ETF. We're going to look at XLF. All right, but 7 stocks here to take a look at. For me, it's going to be Bank of America, JP Morgan, and XLF. But here's other stocks that the article talks about. But I'm telling you, equities decline as the consumer price index increased over the past year. It's only a matter of a time before the Fed start increasing interest rates in the coming months. I'm telling you that this space, the bank space, is a good space to start ramping up. All right, is start the ramping up. Just keep your eye on it. Fernando says, we don't be in a recession. Earnings are too good. Now, earnings, we're still in a bull market. All right, if you're looking at the VectorVest system, we're still in a bull market. We're going to stay in the bull market until earnings decrease. Now, as bond buying goes down, goes away, and interest rates, the biggest thing is when interest rates start to get hit, earnings are going to get affected, folks. Earnings are going to get affected. So yes, we are, Fernando, I'm with you. We are in a bona fide bull market right now. Earnings will be affected by what the Fed's actions are. All right, they will. I'm not thinking about this happening until sometime next summer. All right, let's go look at my bank stocks. Let's go. So now, for those of you who are new, I'm looking at 19 stocks today. These stocks are sorted by our master indicator VST, value, safety, and timing. The stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing will automatically go to the top of the list. Notice what's at the top of the list today? GUSH. Oil is a hot play. GUSH is at the top of the list. Now, let's go look at Bank of America. It's number 4 in the list of 19. Look at JP Morgan. It's number 5 in the list of 19. Let's go down to XLF. That's going to play the whole financial space. And what was my last one? What was it? That's it. Those are the only 3. How about out of the bank stocks in my list of 19 stocks? One is number 4 and one is number 5. And then the ETF is towards the bottom. Does that not tell you something right there? Yes or no? Does that not tell you something in my list of 19 stocks? How important that these bank stocks could be if you're not in them? Type a yes or a no. The power of the VectorVest system, just using the watch list, is by far better than anything out there. Just looking at it in a watch list to see where Bank of America and JP Morgan sit in my 19 stocks. Let's right click. Let's view the stock graph. So banking is going to be hot. Today, Bank of America is taking a hit, but currently above the 20-day exponential moving average. Currently above the 20-day. And look at the volume. The volume is, for me, volume is conviction. Volume is conviction. The stock's volume is pretty steady. Look at the earnings. Look at the earnings growth rate. And they pay a dividend. They just got a bump up in their dividend over the last 3 months. I like that. I can make money on the capital appreciation. I can make money on the dividend. And the stock plays options. I can make money on the stock. This is going to be a happening industry because of the Fed's moves that they have to make. banks are going to be the beneficiary of that. Look at JP Morgan, nicely moving above the 20-day exponential moving average. Volume is good. Look at that. They just had a bump up on their dividend. Watch earnings growth rate as it popped down a little bit, but earnings is rising. I like that. Bottom left, top right, a little bit of consolidation. And go to the last one. XLF, though. I like the individual stocks in this space, Stephanie, in regards to this. I like the individual stocks, but I'm not afraid to tell any of you to play the ETF, to play the whole space. Right now, it's back in a channel below the level of resistance of 38.97. It is what it is, but the volume is there. I like this to play the whole space. All right, so those are my 3 stocks on the bank space. Anybody got any questions? Anybody? I'm going to drink some water. Anybody got any questions? That's some good cold water. That's some good H2O. Mama said, if you're going to make some H2O, you make that good H2O. You don't even know what movie that was from, do you? The Water Boy. That's right. All right. JP Morgan has been hot of late, cooled a bit today. And you know something? With that, Stephen, being said, I still think that it's a hot industry. Hot industries tend to have hot stocks, making them hot industries. All right, yep, Bank of America is another one I own. There you go, Ken. Less returns on ETFs. You know, that's an interesting question. Less returns on ETFs. Because it's playing a space, it might be less returns on an ETF. But if you're wanting to play the space with less risk, Stephanie, I like playing the ETF. Remember, you can turn around and play an individual stock and it can explode. But it's going to be a lot more volatile than an ETF. Does that make sense, Stephanie? That's a great question. Does that make any sense, Stephanie? All right. It may be less returns, but it's a safer play. It's a lot less volatile if you play the space as a whole. All right. All right. Let's get into my next story. Woo. You guys pumped up today? I'm pumped up. Joe, you pumped up? Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys pumped up today? There's some good stuff. You guys pumped up? I'm pumped up. All right. Even if y'all not pumped up, I'm pumped up. Woo! All right. Do I need to slow down a little bit, Joey? No. You don't want me to slow down? No, keep it up. All right. Let's go to my next story. Talking about tech stocks. Tech stocks are rocking and rolling. Tech stocks are rocking and rolling. Recent dip has made NVIDIA attractive. Now, this story looks at 2 individual stocks. It looks at NVIDIA and AMD. So we're talking about the chip shortage. Somebody talked about the chip shortage in the chat, and I'm okay with that. NVIDIA is a dominant player in consumer and data center upgrades, graphics processing units, or GPUs. Now, I did a video on YouTube recently, looking at both Moderna and NVIDIA. How many of you have seen my videos this week on YouTube? Type a yes in the room. I'm curious to know. I'm curious enough how many people watch here on YouTube for Trending Thursday. How many of you look at the videos that me and Patrick put out on YouTube on a daily basis? Type a yes in the room if you watch. Just type. I'm curious to know. I want to know, not only do you support us here on Trending Thursday, but do you support us in YouTube as well? That's another one I own, says Glenn, says Ken, NVIDIA, and both AMD. I'm a big fan of both of them. They both make money. They both, what was that? My tummy. That was your tummy? You need to, I gave you a sandwich. Oh my gosh. Joey's stomach just scared me. I thought it was a raccoon just got in the office. Holy smokes. All right, so I'm glad. Oh, do you watch other? Wow, did you just put that up there? Clay did. Nice. That's awesome. Clay just put a poll up there about how many of you support us on our other stuff on the channel. Yes, I get all your videos on YouTube. Not this week, but last. There you go, Ken. I'm looking at both YouTube. This is really kind of cool looking at both chats. I like that. All right, so we do put a lot of content, Patrick and I, on the YouTube channel. Talk about stocks that are making news, that are hot. Go support those videos, folks. If you haven't already, go to the channel, go support those videos. So let me tell you a little something about NVIDIA. NVIDIA is in cahoots with Dell and VMware for cloud interconnectivity. All right, so a lot of stuff is up in the clouds right now. And NVIDIA, Dell, and VMware are working on a process to get all of these cloud servers to be able to talk to each other. I think that's going to be huge. All right, so that's going to help. NVIDIA is not just doing chips. NVIDIA's got their hands in a lot more other stuff than people think that they do. They do help in games, both on a console and on mobile devices. But NVIDIA is a big mover, not just in chips, but in other things. AMD saw its GPU share decline 17%. Remember, NVIDIA is not just doing GPUs. This company's stock is trading at 10.2% discount of its 52-week high. It's a cheap stock, too. So NVIDIA, AMD, and so those are my two stories because tech is on the rise. Let's go back into my watch list. There's NVIDIA, number 2 on the list, folks. AMD, number 3 in the list. You're going to tell me that tech's not moving? How many of you are on the tech wave? So we talked about the oil wave. How many of you are on the tech wave? Type a yes in the room. How many of you are playing tech stocks? Even with the chip shortage, these companies are making money and they're moving higher. How many of you are playing tech? So I'm going to look at NVIDIA. I'm going to look at AMD. And again, I'm going to put you in a safe space looking at an ETF. Let's go to SOX. There you go, semiconductor as an ETF. All right, so again, Stephanie, I'm all about that today. I'm all about looking at the ETF space. Stephanie is saying yes with FNGU. I like that play as well. I like that play. It's a great play. Oh, yeah, buying on the dips. There you go, Kay. I like that idea as well. Buy the dips on these. These have upside because these are good companies within the space outside of just making chips. Let's go take a look at their graphs. All right, let's go take a look at their graphs. Bump that up. 3-month graph, NVIDIA. The news came out about NVIDIA a couple of days ago, and I'm thinking that news is definitely going to push the stock's price higher. Currently trading right at the 20-day exponential moving average. I love that it bounced off a level of support at 194. Let's go see if it's got more upside, at least to the high of 230. I'm saying that the stock is trading at 211. It's got some upside at least to 230, and if it breaks through, woo, Katie barred the doors, the stock can rock and roll. Look at the earnings per share and look at the earnings growth. They haven't grown their dividend. It's been pretty steady. I'm okay with that. They've got a dividend of what, 16 cents? A dividend of 16 cents. They've got sales growth of 68%. Even with the chip shortage, folks, they've got sales growth of 68%. 68%. I like that. Sales is the gas for the engine. I truly, truly like that. Rate increase hitting tech is a generality. Crappy tech will get hit, but quality won't last as long as GDP grows. I'm a big fan of tech right now, and I love everybody's comments in here. Dave is watching. Hi, Dave. Hi, Dave. All right, so he's watching on Facebook. All right, so that's NVIDIA. Let's go to AMD. I like AMD too. Look at that. I've done stories on AMD. How about the stock is settling into a level of consolidation, just now breaking above the 20-day exponential moving average? Look at the earnings per share. Look at the earnings growth. Do they pay a dividend? AMD does not pay a dividend, but it was in a wedge, broke out, and even after that, still consolidating. I'm thinking that it's got an opportunity to at least go up to the high of 122, trading at 106 right now. Let's see if it's got legs to bounce, and then playing the whole space. I like the whole space, but the whole space is jumpy all over the place. Look at the big wick on today's candle. A lot of selling pressure, but on big volume. A lot of selling pressure, but on big volume. That tells me something. Keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. Stephanie, does that make sense? I know that you're asking me about ETFs. I'm thinking that SOX is a good play for the whole space. Anybody got any questions? Man, what's in my throat? Good Lord. Let me clear my throat. All right. Let Miss Woods do tech calls for me. I'm not sure what that was. Starbucks. I'm not ready to look at individual stocks yet. Joey, how much Cafe Bustelo did Glenn drink today? He's on fire with NVIDIA. I know. I drank a lot of Cafe Bustelo.
Just one pot.
Just one pot.
That's what I said.
Oh, just one pot. Oh, there's only one pot. All right. What do you think about Starbucks? David, I will give us an opportunity to look at individual stocks in a minute. All right? Give me a chance. I got you. All right. If you haven't liked the content already, what more do I need to do for you to get to like the content? How many likes do we have today?
95.
95? Really? All right. Listen, maybe I got to get faster and louder to get more likes. We'll see. All right. Let's get to my next story. My next story, go to the web, is on COVID stocks. Pfizer, big news on Pfizer. Pfizer asked the FDA to authorize COVID vaccines for kids 5 to 11. That's going to be big. All right. I happen to be fully vaccinated. I think we're trying to get, and again, this is not going to turn into a legal conversation here. Don't want to hear it. Not here. This is not the place. My job is to show you what stocks to take advantage of during this. What did I say? Legal. I don't want to be political. Legal. I'm politically legal?
Legally political.
Legally political. I ain't going to do that. But that's big. That's big for Pfizer. Pfizer's the only drug out there that is FDA approved, fully FDA approved. Then let's go to the other side. Moderna, incredible growth at an uncomfortable share price. Everybody in this room knows that I feel that Moderna was the best stock in this space ever since COVID came out. When the stock was a lower dollar stock, it was undervalued as a drug stock, which is highly unlikely. That doesn't happen very often, and it had a relative value, upside potential out there better than any other stock out there. All right, Moderna makes a strong case to be known as one of the top innovators on the planet. All right, so this is out of tip ranks. The company's breakthrough vaccine, now referred to as SpikeVax, is helping the world curb the spread of COVID-19. All right, so that's the Moderna side. Now, what else is Moderna doing? And this is another good story. Moderna to invest $500 million in a state-of-the-art mRNA vaccine factory in Africa. That came out today. I think that that's going to be big news as well. Amid global criticism over the lack of vaccine availability in developing nations, how about they went to Africa? That's huge. All right, Moderna on Thursday announced it will build a state-of-the-art mRNA factory in Africa aimed at producing 500 million doses of vaccine a year. Folks, that's a lot. All right. Now, we may get the shots for free, but Moderna sells this stuff, and 500 million doses per year is a lot. They're going to make a lot of money. Glenn likes to be unique. He dropped his, what? Oh, my gosh. All right. Why do we have a sell-rated stocks on your list? Oh, just because a stock is a sell-rated stock doesn't mean that it doesn't have potential. I'll talk about that in a second. All right, and another stock that's out here, how about SRNE in this space? Dear SRNE stock fans, here's the latest patent news to watch. Investors of Sorrento are seeing a lot of red. Today's double digit suggests that investors are taking another look at this early stage vaccine player. They are not even bona fide yet for emergency use authorization. So additionally, some of the rather bullish results for an oral COVID-19 option have hit vaccine stocks hard. Merck is out there producing or working on an oral vaccine, and it keeps, I'm hearing from everybody that it's going to give the shot vaccines a run for the money. I don't know. I don't honestly think so, but we'll keep our eyes on that. All right, so those are my stocks in this space. Let's go take a look at them. There's mRNA. How about finally, we've got other stocks in the list with oil and tech and bank that are even better than mRNA. Interesting, huh? These industries are hot. All right, that's why I'm looking at them today. So we're going to look at mRNA, we're going to look at Pfizer, we're going to look at Merck, and we're going to look at SRNE. These are my 4 stocks in the COVID space that I want to take a look at. Let's view the stock graph. Let's pump that up. mRNA is a tough stock. This stock is, again, one of the best stocks. So the question is, why are we looking at a sell recommended stock? Let me tell you why. All right, let me tell you why we're looking at a sell recommended stock. Fundamentally, this stock is amazing. All right, I'm looking at relative value. This stock should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 100% over the next 1 to 3 years. That's why it's on the list. The stock's got a relative safety at 1.16. It's a relatively safe stock. The thing that's hurting it right now is that it's not going up in price. Fundamentally, this stock is sound. Let's go look at the earnings per share. Rising. Look at the earnings growth rate. Rising. This stock does not pay a dividend, but this is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. So to ask the question, Ravi, why this sell stock is on the list, COVID's not going away anytime soon. This stock is still an innovator in this space with the RNA technology. Fundamentally, the stock is good. The company makes money. That's the reason why. Ravi, does that answer your question? All right. Does that answer your question? Merck drug doesn't work as well as the injection drug. That's right. I just did a story on mRNA, and it talked about the Merck drug has a 50% chance of keeping you out of the hospital or severe case of COVID. Whereas when I look at the injections, they have a 95, 96% chance of keeping you out of the hospital. So that's why I'm not afraid of the oral drug just yet affecting stocks like Moderna or Pfizer. All right. I don't, in the stories coming out saying that the pill is affecting these drugs adversely. That's a fear tactic, in my opinion. That's a fear tactic. Those pills, even if they're in the developmental stage, are not as strong as the injections. So you're right on board with that, Steve. Mark says, be on the lookout for TSOI, not in the VVC, but should be. Mark, send me an email. Let's go see if I can get that in there. All right, if I can get that stock in there. So there's Pfizer below the 20-day exponential moving average. Not a sell recommendation, but I'm keeping you alert as to what's going on with these stocks. Merck, in the news of the oral drug, took a bounce, came back down, clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. And then my last one is SRNE with its drug as well, nicely bouncing off a level of support. I'd like to see it come back above the level of the 20-day exponential moving average. Anybody got any questions on my COVID drugs today? Anybody? Bueller. All right. Yep, works great as a. I'm not Steve. Shh, don't. I can't say. Can I say that? What Steve said works as a. I can't say that. Joey says I can't say that. All right. So, let's move on to my last story today. My last story today is dealing with stocks of interest to me. All right, stocks of interest to me that I want to bring to your attention. Pills are not meant to replace the vax. Chris, I agree with that. But if you see the news that is out here in the world, it's saying that the pill is giving the injection vaccine a run for the money, and I don't altogether agree with that. All right, Chris, and that's why I'm bringing it to the forefront. I don't altogether agree with that. And you're right. I don't think that the pills are meant to replace the vaccinations, but the stories that are coming out put it that way. As far as Novavax, Mohammed, give me an opportunity. I'll take a look at that. Been a pharmaceutical rep for 20 years. Never have I seen anything as dangerous as these vaccines. So, Steve, I think that the mRNA technology has been out for a while prior to it being set up as a vaccine. All right, there you go. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so there you go. All right, let's go move over to my stocks of interest. AMC, meme stock, we all know that. But what they did recently is they bought back some of their debt. So that's good. They sold some extra stock to buy back some of their debt. When you look at AMC and GME, wow. When you look at AMC and GME has no debt where AMC does, and they're trying to buy back off of some of that debt right now, which is important. mRNA technology has been out since the 80s, says Dave. And I agree with you, Dave. It is not a lot of people think that it's new technology. It's been out for a while. You know what else in regards to, I'm going to go back to that. In regards to the mRNA technology, you'll notice that Moderna is starting to use that technology to go after cancer too. So that technology, I think, is really good technology. So I'm putting that out there that way. I'm really putting that out that way. So, all right, Joey made me clear my throat. Wow, I felt like DJ Cool. I had to clear my throat. All right, let's go. So 5 things to know about the latest AMC debt update. 1, the company announced that it would be paying back $35 million in debt. This debt carried an interest rate of 15% cash, 17% in kind. Indeed, by any standards, this is a high rate hike. Accordingly, in a bid to improve the company's cash flow, CEO Adam Aaron made a call to eliminate some of this debt. Doing so will allow the company to free up $5 million in cash. So I'm looking at the news. I own AMC and I own GME. And I'm looking at AMC, another thing that's going on with them. AMC Theaters' acceptance of Dogecoin follows viral community appeal. This not only helps people who can pay by way of cryptocurrency, but it's going to help the cryptocurrency space as well. So interesting. I think AMC still has some potential, even though it's a meme stock. My next one, XRO. How many people own XRO and saw the stock rise today? I own it. The stock is kicking butt and taking names. Sue came out and talked about their XRO's coil driver. They're going to announce eventually some collaboration with a big company outside of Zero Motorcycles. So I think XRO is poised and ready to take off. I own a goodly amount of shares of XRO. Just something to keep in mind. AMC is a dying industry. Attendance is declining over the last 10 years, but I think with all of the retail influence on the stock, Bob, it's picking up. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Ed owns some XRO. Excellent. Anybody? I can't see if there any. mRNA has been in the works for 20 years. There you go. All right, so I still want to keep up on my people on Facebook. Something happened there and went away, but looks like you're still there. All right. What else stock I like today is my last one, Palantir. I've done a lot of videos on Palantir. I still think that this is one of the best innovative companies that are out there that takes data and moves it down to usable data, usable information. Whether you want to think it's Big Brother or whatever it is, I think that this is a highly innovative company. I've done, again, few videos on it, and they just picked up a new Army contract. What else I like is that they continue to pick up contracts upon contracts upon contracts upon contracts. This company is making money, and it's still in the infancy of its growth. All right, let's go take a look at these stocks. And we'll look at all 3 are at the bottom. All right, these are aggressive plays. Don't get me wrong. These are all aggressive plays. I own XROF, not XRO. It is EXROF. There it is. It's XROF. That's what it is. Let's right-click. Let's look at these stocks. All right, look at them on the graph. And AMC, I'm with you, Bob. Bob is saying that it's a dying industry. I think the retail investors have jacked the price up on it. I still own it. And Bob, I still think that this could be a black swan event with all the overshorting on the stock. And I think that that's the main focus. The company doesn't have fundamentals. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it's the overshorting of the stock that the retail investor is looking at. So I still think it's got upside. I like the news that they're trying to bring down their debt, that they're looking at accepting Dogecoin or cryptocurrency. Those are just some outside things to keep the stock's price going. The next one is Palantir. Palantir, I have this all marked up. I've got a profit target of Palantir of about $31. We're about $8 off of that. Currently below a level of resistance, but I'm thinking that with this contract, the stock will keep moving up. I wouldn't buy it yet until the stock can at least break through this level of $25 or go above that level of the 20-day exponential moving average. I bought Upstart at $35. Palantir is a great company. I own that too. What do you think about Affirm? I think Affirm is going to be a good company that's going to take place coming into the Christmas season with Walmart giving the buy now, pay later instead of Walmart having stuff on layaway. All right, so Palantir is a tough stock to own right now. I still think the upside is still there. And last but not least, XROF with the news today, big move, went above the 20-day exponential moving average. Look at the pullback. Look at the pullback. And I own this. I'm sitting through this. I own this. Nice big volume today, but the pullback. These three stocks are on my radar. I'm not telling you to go to buy them, but I'm telling you to keep them on your radar as well. All right. Hey, do you know what time it is? I want to know. Do you know what time it is? It is, huh?
3:04.
Shut up, Joey. Here's my weekly watch list of stocks. Let me empty that out. This is the time we look at the stocks that you want to look at. So today I'm going to start off with Facebook. Give me some stocks. Wait, on the YouTube side, hold on a second. Let's start off with my Facebook people today. What stocks do you want to look at? All right, what stocks do you want to look at? You guys on YouTube don't listen, do you? Sigh. All right, Facebook, if you don't start typing in something soon, I'm going over to my YouTube people. All right, so I'm trying to give you people first dibs on stocks today. And you guys on YouTube still going? Sigh. All right, 3, 2, there we go, Zynga. I was about to move from Facebook, folks. I was about to move. Zynga, and that's it. All right, I'm going over to YouTube. TTT, PRFT, Netflix, NFLX. Oh, now you YouTubers, now you Facebookers want to come in. PRFT, Netflix, EMN. Okay. Facebook is falling. IHX, or is that LHX? Let me go. I think it's LHX. All right, I'm going to do that one. EOG. All right, now let's go back over to YouTube. GPS, UPST, TSM, ARCB, Waggy. Waggy I ain't got. Oxy Petroleum, Occidental, OXY, Snap,
V-Waggy, isn't it?
is it V-Waggy? Volkswagen.
Yeah.
All right,
There's two of them in there.
Yeah, this is the one, V-Waggy. All right, anything else on Facebook? Facebook, TDOC, TDOC, Lattice Semiconductor, LATTI, LSCC, AAL, American Airlines. All right, how many stocks does that give me? It doesn't give me 30. I bet y'all don't even have 20. I got 17. Those are my stocks I'm going to look at. That's not, it's 17 stocks. This is what I think about you. All right, so these are my stocks that I'm going to look at today. I'll put in one more from my people here. Where's my weekly watch list? I will put in one more. What was that? That was UMC. All right, there's a link in the bottom of the video. If you want a free stock analysis on any stock that I didn't look at today, you can get a free stock analysis just like I'm getting ready to do right here. So to all my people on both YouTube and Facebook, thank you for, that was another one, Starbucks that I wanted to look at. Yes, SUBX. All right. So that gives me 19 stocks. Let's go through these stocks. I'm not looking at any more. All right, do I have REI? Yeah, REI. Yes, I got REI. Is that what you're looking for, Mark? I can't tell you no. When you keep giving me super chats like that, I can't tell you no. Is that the one you're looking for, Mark? Ring Energy? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm going to take it anyway, even if it wasn't. It is now. All right. Let's go take a look at these stocks as graph them all. Notice that these are put into our master indicator VST at the top. All you who gave me the stocks, look at where they all sit in the list. That's the cool thing. So I'm keeping that in mind. All right, let's graph them all. 3-month graph. Who gave me ARCB? That's a good looking stock. Bottom left, top right. Love the rising earnings. Love the rising earnings growth. Good volume. Whoever gave me that, that's a nice looking stock. I like that. That's looking like an airplane taking off. Preferring Facebook to Google. What is it? I didn't see Google pop up. Remember, you saw all of the stocks that came up there. Who said that? Frank. I was just putting up stocks up there. All right, so I don't be mad. Now ARCB, I wouldn't buy today. It's a down day, but overall I like the stock. Next stock, PRFT, above the 20-day exponential moving average. A little bit of a sideways move on it right now. I just keep that in mind. A little bit of a sideways move, but a new high today on good volume, rising earnings growth rate. I like this stock. I like that it's possibly breaking out of consolidation. Not a bad play. Now, REI is a little bit more volatile. Look at that move. Look at this right here. A little bit more volatility. Stock is currently above the 20-day exponential moving average. Both earnings per share and earnings growth rate look good. I like it from that perspective. Would really like to see the stock take out that high. Big wick, a little bit of a shooting star candle, follow through, but no follow through today. Nice open candle today. I like it. If I'm going to look at it longer term, I'd like to see it take out that level of the high. Next stock, UMC. Not feeling that in the space of the semiconductor. I'd rather look at NVIDIA or AMD in that space, or even SOX. I'm not feeling that right now. Stock's price is below the 20-day exponential moving average. Now, I do like the earnings and the earnings growth. That gives me pause to think that the stock's going to still have some upside. This is the engine that drives the stock's price higher. I'm just saying that right now is not the time until it at least breaks above that level of the 20-day exponential moving average. EOG, petroleum, hot space, right? Moving up right now, cooling off a little bit. 2 days off of the 3-month high. I'd like to see it take that out. The 3-month high was sitting at 89.47, currently trading at 86.32, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. New here, quick question. KLXE was at 165. Now I'm buying at 455. Any idea on its chances of heading back up? Only because you're new. KLXE. I don't know what made the stock go down. Petroleum. I don't know. Without me looking deeper into this, I don't know yet. And I would not think it's going to get back up to this point right here. You said 165. I'm looking at a 1-year high of only $18. I don't know what's going on with the stock. Earnings fell, so maybe the company wasn't making money, and that caught up to it, and it still hasn't been able to overcome that yet. Earnings is about the same as it was last year, so there's no rise in earnings. So the company doesn't seem to be making money. Sales growth is 200%. I'm not sure. I got to look into this company. I got to look into what's going on with this company. I don't like it right now, but I'd have to do a little bit more research. All right, that's the best way I can answer for a new person. All right, not that that's just a new, but I wanted to answer your question. All right, let's go to the next stock, Oxy. Let's put this back on the 3-month graph. I like Oxy.
Like this.
What's what?
Like this.
Like what? That's not how you. I don't think so. Hush up. No, stop. Leave me alone.
It doesn't go like this.
What? Leave me. Stop. I'm doing a webcast. Joey is messing around with my golf tool that I got. He doesn't know how to use it. No, you didn't know anything. Leave me alone. I like Occidental Petroleum. I'd like to see it take out that high. That's a nice level of a high. Put that on the 6-month graph. The 6-month high sitting at about 33.50. It's on its way, nicely above the 20-day. Love the volume, love the earnings growth. This may have opportunity to take out that high. I like that. Netflix, I like it. Bottom left, top right. A little bit of consolidation back here. Rising earnings. Woo! Watch the earnings growth. Watch the earnings growth. The earnings looks good, but the earnings growth tells me that there's something that's not going on right. And something tells me on the next report that they have about subscribers, it may not be as big as they like. All right, that's what I think. That's just what I think. I like the graph, but I don't like what I see behind it, especially from an earnings growth perspective. Oof, TSM, also in the semiconductor. I already showed you 2 stocks in that space that look much better. AMD and NVIDIA. TSM, are they making money? Relative value is good. The fundamentals on this stock are good. It's interesting that some stocks in the space are making money, but others are not. And this has got a lot of jagosity going on. All right. Stop it, Willie. There's a whole lot of jagosity going on. All right. So just keep that in mind. LHX starting to rise. I like the pullback, finding a level of support, now getting above not only the 20-day exponential moving average, but 2 levels of resistance. I like that. It's got a high right now of 235. I have $5 off of that. Look at that rise in earnings and earnings growth. I like this stock. Would really like, if I'm not in it, like to see it take out that high. Prior to that, the stock was nicely moving up higher. Let's go to the next one. LSCC. I like this stock as well, and also looking like an airplane taking off. Earnings per share looks good. Earnings growth looks good. About a week or two off of the most recent high of 68.76. I like the pull away from the 20-day exponential moving average. Would like to see it take out that high, but I like the earnings. Earnings looks good on that stock. What else? Upstart. A lot of people are talking about the Upstart stock. It pulled back, cooled off a little bit. I like the pull up above the 20-day exponential moving average, rising earnings growth. Volume is pretty okay. If I'm not in it, though, I'd like to see it take out the high. How many of you